I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com, and over this weekend my dryer stopped heating. So it was still running, but it wasn't drying. So I thought it was a few things. I went through a bunch of repairs and nothing was working, but it turns out it was the timer. The timer had, sparked something, and had fried itself. So I'm going to show you what I did to fix that. Okay, now to get to the timer, you got to take this back plate off, which has 6 screws in there, and they're all 1/4 inch, so they're pretty easy to take off. In fact, they shouldn't be on there very tight since they're just screwed into the metal there. Of course, make sure your dryer is unplugged at this point, so you don't want to get shocked. Pull this back plate off, and there's the back of your timer. Now to get that off, it's got a couple of bolts on it too, one right there, and one on the other side. So we'll pull it off just to show you, but you don't. Before you pull this off, you want to test this to make sure this is actually the problem, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, but I'll actually take this off. You gotta pull the knob out of the front. Just pulls right out. Now here you got it pulled out, but still wired up. Okay, now you need a multimeter. So here I have my multimeter, and I've got it set to right there to continuity. And so that's just trying to see if a connection has been made. So it's trying to complete the circuit. So if I do this, it makes an audible sound saying that the circuit is complete. Now, I've already fixed this. But if it was not fixed, if this is blown, the way to test for it is between the black and the red. You check those. Now you may need to turn your knob to high to turn it on, and that will complete the circuit. And if you touch these, you wouldn't get a noise. And so if you don't get a noise, you have to turn this all the way around at different settings. Then that means it's fried inside, or potentially. Now this thing costs about $80, so it's a bit of an expensive repair, but I'll show you what I did to clean it out and get it working. Okay, it's the wee hours of the morning here, but I think I finally found the problem. So I removed the timer from the dryer. I've already opened this up, but I just want to show it again, so just take these 2 screws off. Oh, and there's my part number there, M60-G, which I looked up, and they're about $80, so it's an expensive piece. Take this part off, all these gears on here, set it aside, and if we look in here, we can see these 2 connection points are charred pretty badly. So there was an arc there. That's why it's not making a connection point. So if I try to press them, and I test for continuity, in fact I could, I'll do this. You can see it's charged so bad you can tell. So what I'm going to make an attempt to do, like I saw in a previous video, is to come in here gently and try to, between a file and a few other things, try to scrape away all the Why don't you call it arc residue? I don't know what this stuff is, but just it's flaky. And so between that, maybe get some steel wool in there and see if I can clean it up. So I'm gonna go do that right now. Okay, I think I finally got it cleaned off enough. And make sure to blow it all out because you don't want little steel wool particles in there for sure. But to test it, what I did is I've connected it on the back here where it says R for red and BK for black. Connected it up to my tester over here. So here on my tester, I got it set to make a noise with its test for continuity. And then now, look at that. So now if I'm going to put this back together and put it on the dryer, I bet you it'll work. And I'll have saved $80. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.